Last week, the stars of the LPGA Tour were at the Ko Resort on the Hawaiian island of Oahu for the LOTTE Championship. No surprise that Lydia Ko was the centre of attention, and the current #1 on the Rolex Rankings posted her best result of the year, a tie for second after closing out with rounds of 65 and 64. During the tournament, Lydia sat down for an exclusive chat with Golfing World to talk about her season so far.
There's been a lot of good rounds that just haven't, I think, come together, and like the whole week kind of hasn't come together. So I'm hoping that to progressively happen, and because I've seen a lot of positive things, I think I'm more excited rather than worried about everything that's going on.
Lydia started the year with a bang, winning 4 LPGA titles by mid-July. But a silver medal at the Olympics aside, the second half of the season wasn't as spectacular. Her off-season was certainly a turbulent one, as Lydia started 2017 with new clubs, a new caddy and a new coach.
Everything that I've changed, I think, has been good, in the results I've seen so far. And it was kind of coincidental that it all happened at similar times. I wasn't planning on it, but obviously it takes time with everything to get comfortable.
The change that received the most publicity was Ko's split with coach David Ledbetter. The pair had been together for 3 years and the partnership had been successful, yielding 12 wins and 2 majors. But Lydia felt like a new direction was needed and turned to a new mentor in Gary Gilchrist.
We've changed a little bit in the setup, and I think that kind of helped in the takeaway. And being on the road, you just want to make it as simple as possible. And Gary's been giving me a lot of drills for me to do, and that way, I'm doing the drills and not really thinking about what position to put my swing in. It hasn't been very technical, and I think that's really good for me.
Making news with everything she does is something that Lydia's been dealing with since she burst onto the scene as a teenager. The 14-time LPGA champion has reached the pinnacle of the women's game in record time and become a global superstar, but with that exposure comes scrutiny.
I didn't even realize it was this big of a deal, but I guess because of the ranking I am in, whatever I do, I think the spotlight is on you, both the good and the bads. But no, I've been taking it as, hey, they must care about me, so that's why they're giving me opinions and all that.
The youngest player to win a professional tour event, an LPGA tournament and a major championship. The youngest to reach #1 and win Player of the Year honours, and still not 20. Lydia reckons she has 10 more years on tour to build her legacy.
I was lucky enough to start playing on tour when I was 16, turning 17, and everything kind of happened really early for me. And golf has been a huge part of my life, and I'm lucky for the things that have happened. Not only result-wise, but the people I've met and the experiences I've had. So, I kind of talk as if I'm retiring tomorrow, but 30 is a young number, but I've still got 10 full years in front of me.
There are plenty of other things for Lydia to focus on before she hangs up her soft spikes. One of those will happen in October this year, when the LPGA Tour heads to New Zealand for the first time. And Ko couldn't be prouder to showcase her adopted homeland.
I think the girls are excited, and I'm excited to bring the girls over to our backyard, and hopefully they have a great experience. And it's just nice to see that golf is becoming more part of schools and part of PE programs, and hopefully in a few years' time golf will be one of the main sports in New Zealand.
Before she heads home, there are 4 more majors up for grabs, and there's a real buzz about Lydia's status as world #1 being under siege from So Yun-yu and Arya Jatunagarn. She's been #1 for the last 78 weeks and is pretty relaxed when it comes to having that target on her back.
Those things kind of happen after the tournament, and there are things that you can control, and those things are sometimes uncontrollable. So all you can do is really play the best you can, and that's what I've been trying to do. And the girls are playing fantastic golf. The tour is at such an amazing state, and that's why week in, week out, you never know who's going to be in contention and who's going to win.